Well, it was heartbreak back in the spring here, wasn't it, against Poland? No Euros for Wales in the summer, but new hope, a new beginning as autumn sets in with the rain here this Friday night. Rob Page has gone, it is time for a new chapter. So what kind of story can Craig Bellamy deliver? You are listening to BBC Radio Wales and BBC Sounds for Wales against Turkey, the opening Nations League game. Nathan Blake, Helen Ward and Rob Phillips to guide you through.
Thanks very much, Ian, and welcome to the Cardiff City Stadium. The Red Wall, as usual, have done their bit. That was a lusty version for Craig Bellamy, who's just stalking his technical area in a black jacket, a light-coloured top underneath with black trousers. Just had a warm embrace with the Turkey manager Vincenzo Montella, who he is full of admiration for, given the job that he's done with this side. The Turkey team are just crouching for a team photo here on a wet night in the Welsh capital. And just to remind you of the Wales team, it is Danny Ward in goal, and then across the back it'll be Connor Roberts, Joe Rodham, Ben Davies and Nico Williams. Ben Davies moves up to 87 caps today. Ethan Ampadu and Jordan James in the heart of that midfield, and then three, Aaron Ramsey in the middle, we think, Harry Wilson on one side, and the surprise choice, Sorba Thomas picks up his 9th cap. He is away at Nantes at the moment on loan from Huddersfield. He's back for the first time in over a year, and leading the line will be Brennan Johnson. Turkey, well, as I said, they include a clutch of players who played in their last game, the quarter-final defeat by Germany in the Euro 2024 tournament. They've got Mert Janok in goal, across the back, Zeki Celik, Shalia Suyonchu, who's now at Fenerbahce, used to be at Leicester City, of course, Abdulkarim Bardikce, and Mert Muldur at the back. In midfield, Kaan Ayhan and Ismail Yüksek, with Kenan Yildiz and their wonder boy Ardal Güler wide, and then behind Okan Kukçu is Barış Alper Yilmaz. He'll be in front of Kukçu. And now we're going to have a minute of pause for Welsh internationals who passed away since Wales last played at home: Terry Medwin, Leighton James and George Baker. A warm tribute to those who have passed on. Terry Medwin, of course, one of the 1958 World Cup stars. And we are ready to go. It's Wales to play from left to right. It's their captain Aaron Ramsey who is waiting for the signal from referee Rohit Sagi of Norway. The VAR is Carlos Del Quiero Grande of Spain. So important these days, as the rain has cleared at least momentarily after a heavy downpour just a few minutes ago. The two sides line up, referee checks everything, and a new page is turned for Wales. One of their finest players couldn't resist the opportunity to lead his country. It's a nation looking for new memories after a lull following an unforgettable few years. Will Wales get a Craig Bellamy bounce into a new era? We're about to find out. And already we see that Ben Davies is the left-sided centre-back, with the now blonde-haired Ampadu in front of him, the holding player in midfield. First touch for Nico Williams on that left-hand side. And alongside me, former Wales strikers Nathan Blake and Helen Ward. And it will be fascinating, Helen, to just see how Wales cope with this formation. Early ball out to Johnson on this right-hand side. He's high upfield. He lays it back inside. Good ball into the middle from Ampadu, but it's Wales couldn't control it. Connor Roberts high up then, Helen.
Yeah, very, and it looks like Brennan Johnson's occupying this right-hand side. Sorba Thomas out on the left, and then Aaron Ramsey, Harry Wilson and Jordan James all sort of interchanging amongst themselves. Aaron Ramsey finding himself quite high and central, but I think this change in formation could definitely suit him. We've seen in the past where he's been in a two in the midfield and they've been a bit exposed. He's not quite got it in him to get up and down as he used to, so having him a bit higher maybe allows him to find those pockets of space that he's so effective in forward areas without having to worry about those defensive duties, with the safety of Ethan Ampadu and Jordan James behind him.
Yeah, I just think it's the counter-attack Wales are going to have to be really wary of tonight. You know, in that first attack, you know, Wales have got six players across the box, you know, in the out box of the opponent. So, you know, if it works for you, it's brave, and Craig has said he's going to be brave about it. Brilliant, but, you know, it is a dangerous game.
It is indeed, and we saw Adel Lule, the Real Madrid superstar, almost get drive down the middle. First touch for Danny Ward, who is the most experienced of Wales's three keepers, but that is a problem position because they hardly play between them. Ampadu is battling for possession, but it's out on this left-hand side. Break down the left side by Yildiz until Roden, now a permanent Leeds player, slides in for a Turkey throw high in Wales territory. Down their left-hand side, it'll be Mert Muldur of Fenerbahce who will take this, probably level with the penalty spot. Remember, this side drew 1-1 here in November after Nico Williams had given Wales the lead. The blonde-haired Barış Alper Yilmaz gained possession, but then it was cleared away by Wales. It's out on the right-hand side now, the Turkey right. Söyüncü, former Leicester City player, now back in his homeland, having moved from Atletico Madrid in the summer. Good pressing by Brennan Johnson. Headed on by Yildiz, but Roden will collect this, and already Craig Bellamy pacing his technical area. Montella's got a calm Italian, isn't he? The Turkish coach.
He was freaking out just a moment ago, Rob. He was going crazy just a moment ago. He's a calm right now, but he has already let loose once or twice on one of his players. Because I was looking at him thinking, that's a bit early.
He's got his arms wide now, as if to say, what on earth is going on out there? He's done a brilliant job with Turkey since taking charge.
He has.
Connor Roberts, who knows all about Craig Bellamy's coaching. This is Ben Davies, his 87th cap tonight for his country. We played 4 minutes on BBC Radio Wales Sport. It's 0-0 between Wales and Turkey in Craig Bellamy's first game as Wales manager. He's the 14th permanent Wales manager. And we won't get into the part-time managers or the caretaker managers. We've had a few of those. This is Sorba Thomas. First break down that left-hand side. Low ball into the box. Ramsey collects, turns, flights it across the 6-yard box. Johnson will pick it up on this side of the penalty area. Lovely back heel into Connor Roberts. Roberts throws it across. Ramsey just heads over from 6 yards. Yeah. Good chance for Wales.
Yeah, it starts with Sorba Thomas down that left-hand side, Rob. Does really well, gets to the byline, gets across it, got no real right to. Ramsey picks it up, chips a lovely ball to the back post, and you're thinking Brennan Johnson should be coming in, but he had made his move earlier on the first cross. Picks it up with a great back heel, cross into the box, and Aaron Ramsey, he'd be disappointed. He's punching the ground with that header. It's just over the bar, but great opportunity, but really good build-up play.
Yeah, some really exciting play there, some energy amongst the team, and so many rotations already. I've seen Nico Williams and Connor Roberts roll inside into those sort of holding midfield positions, and Harry Wilson, Jordan James fielding out into the wider areas. And you know, it is really, really brave, and we're used to seeing Nico Williams and Connor Roberts attacking and finding themselves high up as wing backs, and they're going to have to show their defensive discipline as well. But also Craig Bellamy seems to be giving the team the licence, as I said, to move freely, and you know there isn't really an obvious shape at certain times, and that's going to be really difficult for Turkey to deal with if they can get it right. But you're right, Nathan, they have to be aware of that counter-attack, because this Turkey side is very good and can hit us on that. And
Hella makes a great point there with the rotation, Rob. I've not seen Jordan James so high. Sometimes he's up pressing like a striker. I've never seen that. It's always him and Ethan Ampadu side by side, and they've had a great partnership. So as we see now, he's up in a 3 pressing, so really interesting.
Jordan James now of Rennes, of course, in Ligue 1. After his summer move, reported as 4 million, told tonight though it was more like £8 million. Has headed down.
You didn't do that deal, did you, Rob?
No, I didn't. Well, Birmingham needed the money.
Sounds like one of your deals.
Stansfield.
Like when I give you a tenner and you only come back with a fiver.
This is it's a free kick to Wales, not far outside their penalty area. That was Barış Alper Yilmaz, who is easily recognisable with a shocking blonde hairstyle. Shock blonde, I mean, not shocking. I don't think it's shocking.
I thought you meant shocking as in like
no
bad style. I was going to say, look at you, Lloyd Christmas.
Well, I used to have the same colour. It was natural, it said on the bottle. 0-0, 7.5 minutes gone. Alongside Nathan Blake and Helen Ward, as Davis slots it out left to Jordan James. James strides forward, centre field. Williams, Sorba Thomas is hanging out there on the left-hand side. Brought in for his energy, according to Craig Bellamy in a pre-match interview on television. This is Roberts. Right-hand side is Johnson. Plays on that side for Spurs. Wilson slides in, Roberts again. Little back heel into Johnson. It's snuffed out. Wilson gets in quickly. And Merkunok of Besiktas, the goalkeeper, will collect and throws out looking for Goulet. But it's anticipated well by Roden, who curls inside to his Leeds clubmate Ampadu, who fires it across to Nico Williams, breaking down the left-hand side. Thomas is up ahead. Inside is James. He's blocked out though by Ismail Yüksek of Fenerbahce, but it breaks out to Thomas again. Chance to attack Celic. Slight attempted clearance as Wales take the throw in quickly. Roberts into Johnson, edge of the penalty area on the right hand side. Back to Ampadu. Wide is Conor Roberts. It goes to Johnson again, and it's a corner. It was aiming for Harry Wilson, but it was fired behind for Wales' first corner. They're starting on the front foot. We played 9 minutes, it's 0-0.
Yeah, it's been a really busy start from Wales. A lot of movement, a lot of rotation. One or two things we're seeing differently, but high tempo. And like you say, Sorba Thomas got to take this corner. He's in the team to give it more energy, and that's what we're seeing from Wales.
Robert to the corner from the right-hand side. Drilled in low! I lose my voice because Ramsey was going in on that. I think he got there and then knocked it behind for a goal kick from a really acute angle.
Good batten, I think they call that.
There was some really good play from Ethan Ampadu, just easing the defender out the way to create the space for Aaron Ramsey. Just gone beyond that front post. It makes it difficult finish, but clever again from Wales. You can see that they're trying new things. It's inventive and it's exciting.
Well, it's all new. Out went the old with Page, nil. And Tony Roberts, Jack Leston, Nick Davis. In came the new coaches. Watching with some satisfaction as Wales continue this strong start. Ramsey, ball inside, took a deflection, hooked over his left shoulder for Golair, who was pulled back by Ampadu in midfield. It was Baradakce who cleared. Free kick taken quickly by Turkey, who are above Wales in the world rankings. They're on 26. Wales are 30th. And this is the 10th meeting between the two sides. Back to the goalkeeper, Juno. Clearance is headed back into the Turkey half. 2 headers, and it breaks for Johnson. Johnson is under pressure and is bundled off the ball, and it's a foul given away by Mert Muldur, the Fenerbahce defender.
I'm not sure what he's complaining about there. He's saying he's having his shirt pulled, but he grabs Brennan Johnson in the first instance, and then they're both grabbing each other's shirt, and then he has another tug. So I'm not really sure where he's complaining.
12 minutes gone, 0-0. Wales free kick. Harry Wilson told to roll the ball back a yard or so. It's about a yard and a half from the right touch line and around about 10-12 yards from the left corner of the Turkey penalty area. Everything is inside Wilson and Nico Williams. Wilson runs over it. Williams right-footed, drills it in low, headed behind for another corner by Orkan Kukcu, the Benfica midfield player.
Yeah, nice to get a corner, but I'd like to see that whipped in with that left foot knee. It's really awkward having people run across the goalkeeper.
Right,
it's the nightmare.
The last corner was an outswinger by Connor Roberts. This is an in-swinger because it's Wilson with his left foot, headed out by Kukcu at the near post. Roberts will pick it up, the Burnley fullback, to Nico Williams, who gave Wales the lead against Turkey in November. And it's now with Danny Ward. Ward, who has yet to start a club game for Leicester this season. Free kick from Ben Davis. We will catch up with what's happening at the WXV warm-up. Scotland against Wales with Carol James. As soon as there's a break in play, Ramsey looks for ball over the top. It's not going to reach his target. Carol James, Wales have hit back.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. So Wales are leading 7 points to 5. So 1 try each. Scotland looked very, very strong at the start. Evie Gallagher scored their first try, but then a beautiful response by the Welsh backline with Megan Webb crossing over and Ciara Bevan slotting the conversion to put them in the lead.
Amadou. And shot wide. Sorry, Carol. I thought Wales were approaching goal then, but shot went wide. Well wide, actually. It was Ethan Amadou who picked it up, had a drive from good 25 yards, always swerving wide of Mert Junok's goal.
Hit the post, Rob, but the wrong post.
Yeah. Post holding up the stanchion. Goodlay gets close attention from Roden. He wanted a free kick, but none given to the youngster. And then it's given away by Celik, seized upon by Jordan James. Wales go towards the penalty area. Ramsey hassled off the ball, but he's found Johnson right hand side. Roberts has gone inside. Back to Ampadu, centre field. Roden takes over just outside the centre circle. Wales playing left to right, all in red. A little band either side of the shorts and the shirt. What do you think of the kit, Helen?
I quite like it. I think it's different, a bit retro. It's nice.
Bit retro. Nathan Blake, would you look the part in this kit, do you think?
I look the part in any kit, Rob.
Yeah, okay, that's the answer I expect. And it's 0-0.
I've also noticed that Brennan Johnson seems to have adopted the number 11 that nobody's been brave enough to take in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Well,
I wonder why.
And that's a really good point, because I think, you know, that it wasn't his fault, but it was thrust upon him that he was the successor to Gareth Bale. £40 million, you know, most expensive Wales transfer. But he's still young and he's still got a fair bit to learn, but he is learning all the time at Spurs.
He's had a good start to this game, I have to say. He's looked sharp, he's looked a real threat down this right-hand side.
Well, it's been all Wales for 15 minutes, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Hardly seen an attack from Turkey.
Sorba Thomas cuts inside from the left-hand side. Found Ramsey, and then he's brought down. The referee saw it late, but...
Yeah, it's clear obstruction.
Yeah. Free kick Wales. They want to get on with it. Ben Davis is particularly keen. Slovenia have gone 1-up against Austria. from the penalty spot. The roars because the ball ended up in the net, but Benjamin Šeško has put Slovenia ahead against Austria. Here, Wales have a free kick. It's 0-0. We played 16 minutes. It's been all Wales, as Nathan Blake has rightly pointed out. And they've got a free kick left of centre, around about 10-12 yards from the Turkey penalty area. Some 600 Turkey fans here, by no means taking all their allocation.
Yeah, I expected more from Turkey, fan base wise. The contingent in Wales, I expected quite a few fans tonight.
So Nico Williams stands over this. He's going to step over it. Wilson plays it in, left-footed, and a header wide from Ben Davies.
Yeah, it's a really good ball. Great ball in by Harry Wilson. It's dipping, left-footed. It's coming in, and it looks like Ben Davies has to go and retrieve it a bit. It's behind him. He tries to turn his head. He misses it, actually. It comes off the defender.
Here's his third corner. Wilson takes it short to Roberts on this right-hand side. Roberts on the edge of the box, plays it back inside. Silver Thomas, first time ball in, then it's stabbed over the top by Joe Roden. What a chance that was.
Again, it's a great set piece. Really clever play, short corner. It's held up, and then a little ball back from Connor Roberts into Silver Thomas, who's in the middle of the pitch, about 25 yards out, just clips a little right-footed cross. It's just fallen to the wrong man, really. Joe Roden, it's fallen onto his left foot. He just can't keep it down. It's on the half volley. He needs to really just stud it back down into the ground, that sort of finish. But just leant back and just up over the bar. But great idea again, great imagination from Wales.
You have to say, they've been together, 4 days, and they've come up with some brilliant set pieces in that time. Really creative, and you know, it looked like on first view, and I thought he might have been offside, but it was actually played on by a late defender.
He was. Silver Thomas wide again. It's incessant Wales pressure for the first 18 minutes or so, and then Nico Williams tries a speculative shot high over the top from just outside the penalty area on the left-hand side. But it's an encouraging start for Craig Bellamy.
I think it's a really good start, Rob, and I'd like to say, as long as you don't concede, obviously you don't want to concede a goal, but they're able to win the ball back quicker as well because they're higher up the pitch. They're not giving Turkey time to settle into the game, and we're almost 20 minutes in. So tactically, it's really intelligent from Craig Bellamy, and the players are playing it out really well.
You're listening to BBC Radio Wales Sport. It's Wales against Turkey in Nation League B. Belgium are 1-up on Israel in League A, and it's still goalless in Iceland, where Montenegro are the visitors. And of course, Wales travel to Montenegro on Monday, and we'll have commentary here on BBC Radio Wales Sport from 7 o'clock. So join myself and Nathan Blake for that one. And it's 0-0 here, 20 minutes gone. Danny Ward stood on the ball, plays it square to Davis, into Jordan James. He's made such an impression. Oh, because the commentator gives the ball away. But just
look, Wales got five men along the front line almost every time. They've got Thomas and
Wilson and Ampadu exchange passes. Wilson did really well then, and then tried to fire it across for Johnson down this near touchline.
Yeah, I was saying they've got Brennan Johnson and Sorba Thomas up high in the wide. And then you've got Harry Wilson, Ramsey and JJ in the middle, basically occupying the defence. So it's clever. They keep winning the ball back and gaining possession. the moment, the game of tactics between managers. And I'd say, well, it's quite evident that Craig's on top.
Set up to
I think he's
soak
caught
up
him
the
by
pressure,
surprise. I
or
think
you
Craig
do?
has caught him by surprise, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, it's not often you see an international team with just one holding midfielder sat there in Ethan Ampadu.
No.
But that movement of Jordan James, where sometimes he's next to him, but often he's up high, is really hurting
Celik
Turkey.
shows his frustration there as he headed the ball away.
And then they do that.
Yeah, and they just clear up field. No chance for Goulet, the teenager from Ancelotti's Real Madrid, to make an impression. Scored that brilliant goal, of course, in Samson against Wales last summer.
Scored a similar one in the Euros, didn't he?
He did. He's some player, isn't he?
Yeah, but at the moment I think Montella's just he's
trying to work it out.
yeah, he's going to have to. He really is, because at the moment, if you look at manager to manager, I mean, Craig has really, you know, pulled something out of the bag that he wasn't ready for.
Well, before his first press conference, when he was unveiled, he said he'd watched Turkey 8 times.
Yeah, he's certainly done his homework, hasn't he?
And on the squad announcement, I asked him how many times he'd seen them, and he said, well, you know, I'm not totally obsessed, but I was in bed last night watching Turkey against Austria. He said he had a very understanding partner. Each to his own. 0-0, midway through the first half. Davis on halfway, up to Nico Williams, who's got loads of space, and so has Sorba Thomas. Celik of Roma tries to get across to him, but Thomas has got the run on him. Crossed, not so good that time, cleared away. They look for Alper, but Davis intervenes, strides forward. Wilson, he gets caught in possession. Then a thunderous challenge from Ampadu, but I think Davis committed a foul, spotted by the referee, and it's going to be a Turkey free kick 2 yards away from their penalty area. 0-0.
Yeah, it's just brilliant from Wales. To say, first 25 minutes, or almost 25 minutes, every time Turkey get possession of the ball, they just panicked into kicking it long, because the front 5 of Wales, no matter where they are, they're just after the player with the ball and creating a panic. And we've seen panic clearances, and then it's just dropping to the centre backs or the centre midfielder in Ampadu, and Wales just start the wave of attack again.
Really high line by Wales as well. Goulet is offside.
Yeah, he was offside.
And of course, Helen, you have to think as well that Wales are without quite a few players. Obviously, Dan James, Liam Cullen pulled out of the squad. Cullen today with an injury, the Swansea player, but before that, David Brooks wasn't considered. There's no Nathan Broadhead, there's no Wes Burns. Notably, all wide players, other than Cullen.
Yeah, but I mean, that's exciting, isn't it? That you've got those players to potentially bring back into the squad and fight for their place, especially again in this formation with these wide players playing such a prominent role. You know, it's a high energy game, so the more players you can have of a good level and a good ability that can come in, and you know, you might need to make changes at 60-70 minutes.
Oh, and that was naughty on Connor Roberts by Yilmaz. Just led with his elbow. Kenan Yildiz of Juventus. Roberts has stayed down. Yildiz has seen a yellow card, the 19-year-old. And that was naughty. He knew what he was doing then, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those. I don't think it's his elbow. I don't actually think he's hit his face, to be honest with you. Connor Roberts, we know he's a bit of a master of the dark arts. I think he's trying to get something out of the referee there. It was a late challenge, don't get me wrong, but I don't think there was any real malice in that one.
Well, he can get up now. He's been booked.
Yeah, it was a bit shoulder to shoulder. I'm not sure about the holding of the face and the slapping of the feet. I don't think he was ever hurt. It was just shoulder to shoulder.
Well, Yildiz has just signed a new contract at Juventus to keep him there until 2029. But I don't think he's been signed for his tackling somehow and his aerial ability. Connor Roberts is up, he's okay. You notice the tash has gone from Connor Roberts, who talked all about the power of the tash. Well, clearly he doesn't need that power anymore.
I quite like that Magnum look.
He did.
Yeah, that suited him.
And
It seemed to spread onto the goalkeeper.
it has, yeah. Danny Ward. It's a real problem, that goalkeeping situation. Remember, Carl Darlow was on the bench today, who could be a debutant if he gets a chance. Along with Adam Davis, no Wayne Hennessy in this squad, although his international career has not been ended by any means by Craig Bellamy, as Wilson starts a counter-attack. Flights the ball over to Johnson, lovely ball. Johnson knocks it past his man, but it's well marshalled by Bardakci. And now Yildiz breaks away from Wilson, still going. Wilson brings him down. That could be a yellow card there, and that is a yellow card. So suddenly the game was two meaty challenges going.
Yeah,
in.
but you know what I like about that passage of play, Rob? It was the first time Turkey had the opportunity to really press Wales, and Wales got out of it really easily. They actually had two options in the midfield. They had Ramsey and Jordan James were both free, and they got out of that tight sort of press that Turkey had put on them. If I was the manager of Turkey, I'd be saying that was far too easy.
Nathan Blake and Helen Ward alongside me. Helen Ward, 44 goals for her country in 105 caps. Nathan Blake, 4 goals, including one against Turkey.
Well, that was the
6-4, was it?
Yeah, we'll say, the less we say, I was going to say something, but I think the less I say, the better about that game. And if Dean Saunders is listening, he'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
I think it's the one where the BBC had to give Bobby Gould the right of reply after the criticism.
Yeah, another top man, Kerry Hughes, played fantastically well. Neville Southall, all withdrawn.
Yeah. France won, Italy won in the elite group. Goulet takes a free kick into the Wales penalty area. And, well, there was a shout from some of the Turkish fans for Yilmaz. There's athletes going on in the Wales penalty area. Ampadu and Yilmaz.
You can't do that. Whether you think it's a penalty or not, you can't do that.
Yilmaz is still...
Well, he's limping extra now because he knows he could be going off.
He could be.
Swinging his arms around like that.
The crowd saw it. Whether the referee saw it is another thing, of course.
Is there VAR here, Rob?
There is.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Okay, let's see the replays.
We've got a little monitor in front of us. Barış Yilmaz was furious he didn't get a penalty. The header was half cleared, and I don't think there was any.
I don't know.
Ampadu.
I don't know. I don't think it was purposely done.
Stepped around him, and then
Ampadu was trying to be the peacemaker there.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
there's
think
nothing
Roden
really
was
in it.
the one he collided with.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think it's a penalty. I think he puts his foot back down, right?
Yeah.
Which is the giveaway. But if that was us, what would we be saying?
I think that, but Roden doesn't attempt to go for the ball.
No.
So he's not making a challenge to
it's a
mean
yellow
he has to go
card
down.
for Yilmaz.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I really do. Because Roden stops before the ball.
Wait,
Yeah.
it's a yellow card, but the referee is coming across to the near side. I wonder whether he's going to book a Turkish coach or assistant. And it is a yellow card for a man in a Turkish jacket. I assume he is one of the Montella's assistant, and Montella's just stood there, calm as you like. We don't like it, but we do really, don't we?
Oh, we love a bit of fire and controversy, Rob. It was never a penalty. I was a bit suspect to begin with, but yeah, it wasn't a penalty, and I don't think Joe Rodon done anything afterwards to warrant that sort of volatile reaction from Leon Mars. But he was clearly upset that he didn't get the penalty in the first instance. And he got up like there was nothing wrong with him and done a bit of shoving, and then all of a sudden remembered, hold on a minute, I just went down for a penalty.
Now he seems okay again.
Yeah, holding his foot again.
Now, will that inspire? And it's a foul on Johnson. That time it was by Mert Muldur.
Yeah, just losing their heads here, Turkey, because I think it's borne out the frustration, if I'm totally honest. The 31 minutes in, and they've not had anything, any sort of play worth talking about.
Well, that was the first time they've got into the box, really, wasn't it?
Yeah,
On that
with
free
the ball
kick.
back off Johnson in midfield. You hope it doesn't stir them. 32 minutes gone goalless, and it's getting hot out there at the Cardiff City Stadium here on BBC Radio Wales. I should have mentioned by now, of course, your first chance to have your say on the Craig Bellamy era is tonight after the game. 9:45 till 10:30. Call Rob 03700 100 110. You can text Jessica Llewellyn on 81012, or you can post on at BBC Radio Wales, or you can even leave a voice note on WhatsApp. We love voice notes. We had 2 on Call Rob last week. It was a moment of great celebration. The first one was good, but 2 in a programme is just sensational in my book. So it means you're
over-egging it sensational.
You don't have to talk to me. What a joy. But you can still take part in the programme. But
you
we
don't
don't
be careful, you'll have all voice messages.
We don't encourage too much. Nil-nil. Red Wall in good voice. And a free kick on halfway, this time Ismail Yüksek.
Yeah, Turkish players getting really frustrated here.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
It's a bit of cat and mouse Wales are doing. Just playing with the opposition, sucking them in. They always seem to have an out.
On the app I use, it's Vincenzo Montella booked, but that definitely wasn't Montella booked. It was one of his assistants. Wilson tried to control a ball hammered at him, to be fair, to burst into the box.
Let's go.
Junot clears. Roberts and Yildiz renew acquaintances. Both ended up on the deck. Ball's out for a throw into Wales, which has been taken. This is Rodon. Made his move permanent to Leeds this summer from Spurs after a loan last season.
After a great loan last season.
Brilliant loan, yeah. Davis, that time he was blocked. There was a bit better press by Turkey as Barış Alper Yilmaz.
Yeah, I think that's something that Wales have needed to improve on, is when they're pressed at the back, is getting out of danger, keeping that sort of calm, cool head.
Turkey have got a bit of the ball in the Wales half now, but Sorba Thomas steps back now, a chance to break. Well done, Sorba Thomas. Wilson tries to flick it with the outside of his boot through to Johnson. Goulet plays it back to Yildiz, who's fouled. Then the ball is knocked wide to that right-hand side too, and it won't take a genius to work out. It's Barış Alper Yilmaz on the ball, who's just been booked for having a penalty appeal turned down. Gotta love the way fans turn against players, haven't they? And the cheer will tell you that Turkey have just knocked the ball up for a throw under no pressure. It's but there is pressure throughout, if you see what I mean.
There is. It's been good from Wales. I think the only concern I would have is that if they don't make it count and get themselves on the score sheet, a coach of Montella's quality, eventually, you know, there's every chance he figures it out and they come out you know, whether it's in the next 10 minutes or in the second half, and they may well figure out solutions to the problem, and that's when Wales will potentially regret the fact that they haven't gone one up yet.
I think that's the key. I think it's whether or not the manager can work out what Wales are doing and he can counteract it. And we say, Rob, often, you know, in club football, you know, for managers, coaches, the game is a game of chess. Right? We've seen it in the Euros, remember, you know, with Wales and Denmark. Denmark ended up getting on top of Wales and winning the game easily because the tactical battle was won by the Danish manager. But we'll see.
Great ball by Ramsey over the top for Sorba Thomas. He's through on his return. He's lobbed the goalkeeper. And the flag goes up. The celebrations are cut short. Sorba Thomas looks furious. But I think you said off as soon as he went.
Yeah, he looked about maybe 2 yards offside. A yard, maybe 2. But again, that outside in the run, fantastic. And it's energy, Rob.
It's close actually, to be fair, but he is just off.
Yeah. That energy, because it's, you know, it's come from him winning the ball back a moment or two ago in midfield, and just maintaining that high energy.
It's great vision from Aaron Ramsey as well, to be fair to him. And
great ball.
you know, and the frustrating thing is that half a yard, if that, it wouldn't have cost him if he was onside. He still would have made that pass and finished it as well as he did. But that's a real good sign, I think, from Wales.
And there were those, and he was asked about it yesterday, Aaron Ramsey. There were those who wrote off his international career. Hasn't played since last September, was sort of frustrated on the bench of that Poland game, the playoff.
Well, I think you were writing him off. People were writing him off, Rob, because his injury record is so poor.
Yeah.
And they look at his age and things like that. And, you know, if you can get back fit, I think I've always said
Oh, he's giving the ball away. This is Goulet. Head to the box. Shot is blocked by Roden. That was Ramsey. That was the curse of the commentator. But Sorba Thomas can break. Now Wales are really swift. He's already into the Turkish half. He's pulled down. I think he lost possession anyway. But it's going to be a yellow card. And these yellow cards are building up for the Turkish defence. They do have their hands full.
Ayhan was taking him out no matter what. He just wasn't passing him, was he?
No,
doesn't matter. Whatever you're going to do, I'm just going to take you out.
Can Ayhan it was. Free kick Wales. But you saw then there were 4 against 3 at one stage.
Yeah, and that's come from Wales's counter.
Yeah. The one thing Craig Bellamy has picked tonight is plenty of pace. 0-0 though. An absorbing first 39 minutes. Free kick Wales. Williams leaves it to Wilson. Wilson floats it in. So Unchu heads it out. And it's going to be a Wales throw on the right-hand side. Roberts, who Craig Bellamy said had a library of tactics in his head, could adapt to any sort of tactics.
Well, he's shown it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
In his career.
Scored against Turkey in the Euros in finals in 2021 in Azerbaijan. It's a free kick to Turkey. It's half-time in the WXV warm-up. Scotland against Wales. Carol James.
Yes, well, yeah, half-time whistle have gone, and Wales are still in the lead by 7 points to 5. Despite this, Scotland have actually crossed the whitewash quite a few times, but Wales's heroic defence, holding up those tries, has been brilliant. Molly Reedon and Gwennan Hopkins, 2 really young players making an impression on Johan Cunningham, and they also got a disallowed try as well from obstruction off a driving maul. But Wales are ahead, and they are looking good. You know, looking sharp. The backs are moving the ball lovely. So the second half is all to play for, and I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, the impact the Wales bench have got now in this second half.
Thanks, Carol. Enjoy that. We're enjoying this Wales performance against Turkey. It's 0-0 though, and we're into the last 5 minutes of the first half, which has seen 2 bookings for Wales, Johnson and Wilson. and 4 bookings to Turkey, and that rather illustrates how much Wales have been on top. As Sorba Thomas, one of the main architects, into Ramsey, who was bundled over. Yildiz breaks from midfield. He's strong, the Juventus player. Goes wide to that right-hand side. They've got men forward. But the crossfield ball was cut out by Wales. Brennan Johnson will chase Harry Wilson's floated ball forward. Forced Gunnar to come off his line. And then that was more of an agricultural clearance by Joe Roden. Craig Bellamy claps his troops. 78 times cap for Wales. Iceland are 1-up against Montenegro. They're the other 2 teams in this Group B. Bellamy is 9th in the all-time caps for Wales and 7th in the all-time goal scorers list with 19 goals. And of course he played with Aaron Ramsey. In fact, he played when Aaron Ramsey made his debut in Denmark in 2008, and Bellamy scored the winner in Brøndby. Remember that one? At the moment though, he will be satisfied, but will feel there's always a chance they could pay for not making the most of their openings.
Yeah, well, you think Aaron Ramsey's had a couple of early chances. Obviously.
Thomas has moved inside. All the goalkeepers out.
Causing a problem. That's the same run he just scored on. Sorba Thomas. That outside in run.
Following the midfield, the throw is taken quickly. This is Wilson from the right hand side. Curls in a left footed cross. And Junok is there to collect as Jordan James, of all people, turned up in the box. And that's the interesting thing. We've seen Ramsey into the penalty area with a couple of chances.
Well, look where Jordan James is.
Yeah.
Normally he'd be sat alongside Ethan in midfield. Yeah. He's trying to buy a foul there.
Yildiz.
That was an embarrassing attempt to buy a foul.
It's going to break again, isn't it? It's going to happen again. Those 2. We're going to keep an eye on that one. That could be interesting.
I think Mulder as well. He's on the edge a bit.
0-0. Turkey have possession right-hand side in the Wales half, but not threatening to do a lot with it. But they do get the ball wide to that right-hand side. And Nico Williams has got a bit of defending to do and does it well as it's run out for a goal kick. You have to say nothing is going right for Vincenzo Montella, and he's a manager with a 46% win rate.
Yeah, I don't think nothing's going right. I just don't think they've been allowed to play, and that's the first time they've had the ball for more than 8 passes.
Oh, Wood takes it short, and that's it. Nip past Kokchu, who was putting pressure on the keeper. He was cool. Brilliant burst away from that left-hand side by Nico Williams. Plays it through to Wilson. Wilson into the box, just has it taken off in by Bardakci. Bardakci wide to this left-hand side, and he gets a round of applause from Montella.
He's got some work to do, Montella. Yeah, he's got some work to do.
Tell you what, Wilson's no slouch, but if that's Brennan Johnson running through the middle or Sorba Thomas, you wonder if they might have got the end of that.
Shot for handball, which isn't given against Muldoon. 2 minutes of added time. Wilson in the penalty area, and a little back heel by Ramsey. May have been sneaking inside the far post, may have been going wide. Junok was taking no chances and plunged on it.
I don't think there was enough on it, Rob. I think he might have been able to take a touch there.
For me, I think Connor Roberts can fizz that across the front of the goal.
Yeah.
For someone to run onto, that was a difficult one for Aaron Ramsey. He's not going to score from there with that sort of effort. I think Connor Roberts may have drifted just offside as well.
Yilmaz heads on. Yildiz gets a ricochet off Conor Roberts' head. They're battling for it again. Goulet comes away with it, but his shirt is held back by Roberts, and that is a free kick. And Turkey, much against the runner player, and look as if they can end this half with a minute to go with a threat on the Wales goal.
I'd like to say though, Rob, regardless of how this game turns out, for Bellamy to have got so much information into his players in 4 days has been quite remarkable. So a big credit to him.
Goulet with the free kick, left-footed, curled in, headed over the top by Bardakci.
They're at it
There's
again.
more afters going on. You can't look at your notes after set pieces or whatever. We're close. Yilmaz is involved again, so is Ampadu. You just can't turn your eyes off it, can you?
No.
I think also off the back of that, Blakey, with the information, I think the buy-in as well.
Yeah, by the
you
players.
know, the bravery for Danny Ward to be playing it inside his own box, and you know, it's not always what fans want to see because it makes you on the edge of the seats, but they obviously trust him in what Craig's asking them to do.
Yeah.
And to get that, as you said, in that 4-day period is all credit to him.
Craig Bellamy now discussing the meaning of life for the fourth official. And that is the half-time whistle. Well, no goals, but plenty of encouragement for Wales. It's been a new style and really a new impetus to this team. They really asked some questions of Turkey. They've had the best chances, overwhelmingly had the best chances, with Aaron Ramsey heading over, Joe Rodon putting a great chance over the top as well. There's plenty to like. But at the moment, Turkey are holding on, and it is a case of holding on. And at half-time, it's Wales 0, Turkey 0.
For your Welsh football fix, get everything you need to know in handy podcast form.
You know, that's football. Get over it.
From Carl Roberts, Iwan Roberts, and new signing Wales striker Sam Vokes.
The scorer of one of the most iconic goals in Welsh football history.
I feel like I should be sat here with a scarf behind my head.
Yeah, announce Vokes.
Feast of football.
22 years old now, Ruben Colville. Errol Bullitt says that he's probably stopped growing now.
Plays he's 7'2" now.
Feast of football. Listen on BBC Sounds.
Well, it might be only 45 minutes old, but the verdict on the Craig Bellamy era seems to be pretty positive so far. Lots of praise on social media, for sure, for what people seem to have found entertaining, inventive, exciting. Those are the kinds of words that people are using for this first half performance. But let's get the verdict from Helen Ward and Nathan Blake at the break. We're going to the World Cup, say some, Helen, on social media. Maybe getting a little bit carried away, but, you know, it's been exciting, hasn't it? What's impressed you the most?
I just think the energy of the team, which, you know, we've seen in the past, it's a relatively young-looking side out there if you take Aaron Ramsey and Ben Davies out the equation, but a really energetic, really fluid performance. The front 5 or 6 players in particular really looking dangerous, and the way they're pressing, they're just not giving Turkey a minute to breathe. And, you know, we're all waxing lyrical about Turkey in the Euros, but they haven't been able to show anything of that nature in this game so far. And I think the only concern Craig Bellamy will have is that they haven't been able to take one of the 3-4 chances that's been created. But, you know, as a performance, it's been absolutely fantastic so far.
Yeah, Nathan, Ramsey header, maybe the closest they came. Obviously, the Sorba Thomas goal, which was off. I'm not sure, you know, that offside. It looked really tight, and obviously he's disappointed that he didn't get his Wales goal there. But anyway, yeah, chances, and also at the other end, they are doing that kind of risky business of playing out from the back, aren't they? As they said they would. But you said, I think tactically, he set them up well, and you can kind of see the fruits of watching Turkey so many times. As he did over the summer, he's watched them 8 times since being appointed Wales manager. So he's done his homework, and it seems to be paying off.
Yeah, absolutely, but you still need to have your team and your tactics right, Ian. You know, you're going up against a really quality team who showed that in the Euros, and they've not been in it. They've probably had, I'd like to see the possession stats. I bet you it's like 65-70%
it is,
in Wales' favour.
62.
Yeah, because they've been far the better team, and at 62 I would expect it to be a bit higher than that, because I think Wales have totally controlled and dominated the game. You know, you've seen the likes of Aaron Ramsey playing up high, and Johnson. Like the relationship between Ampadu and Johnson, we've become so used to seeing those two sat and in a protective mode against for the back three or the back four. But tonight we've just seen something totally different. They're almost split, and Ampadu 9 times out of 10 is being left in that midfield on his own, and you know JJ is being pushed up to make a 3 and really press up high, and with a line of 5 across the top line. So it's been really brave, really inventive from Wales and Craig Bellamy. But like Helen said, he'd be disappointed that they haven't got a goal lead. But as far as tactical, you know, it's refreshing to see. Yeah,
it has been. It's been an enjoyable return to Cardiff City Stadium for the Wales fans, hasn't it? After that disappointment in the spring, the playoff final defeat to Poland. Thank you, Helen and Nathan, for the moment. Commentary to come then in the second half. Wales, of course, have a double header over the next few days. They go to Montenegro on Monday. They are 1-0 down away to Iceland at the moment, the other team in Wales's group. And as far as the rugby is concerned, at the WXV warm-up for Wales women away to Scotland, they are leading 7-5. We're going to speak to the former Wales wing, Carol James, to get the flavour of the first half shortly. But before we do that and round out the rest of the day's sports news, let's get the latest BBC Radio Wales news, travel and weather with Sian Howell.
This is Radio Wales on BBC Sounds or on your smart speaker. Play BBC Radio Wales.
BBC News for Wales. A Royal Navy serviceman who died after a helicopter ditched in the Channel on Wednesday night has been named as Lieutenant Rhodri Leishon, who's from Wales. The helicopter made the emergency landing in the water during a training exercise. A man from Swansea who left 7 migrants screaming for help after cramming them into an overheated van has been jailed for 10 years. 43-year-old Anas Al-Mustafa was convicted of assisting unlawful migration by trafficking the 7 people via a ferry between Dieppe in France and Newhaven in England in February. Chris Foster is from the Home Office Criminal Investigations Team.
These people were literally shoulder to shoulder against each other in degrading, difficult circumstances, really hot, almost described as a boiling lorry, where they had no access to water, food or air. I don't think those people would have survived if it hadn't been for the actions of the crew and the medics there.
Sir Keir Starmer says he's absolutely convinced that disrupting people smuggling gangs will stop small boats crossing the Channel. The Prime Minister and Home Secretary have been discussing their plans with police and border officials. The number of people in prison in Wales and England has once again reached an all-time high. A UK government scheme to release some prisoners early to ease overcrowding is expected to start on Tuesday. Andrea Kuma is head of the prison reform charity Howard League.
If the government doesn't do this, we will very soon be in a position where courts will have nowhere to send somebody who's been convicted of a serious offence or who needs to be taken out of the community for public protection. We do welcome this move, although we do have concerns, obviously, about the burden it puts on probation.
Royal Mail says it's increasing the price of a first-class stamp to £1.65 next month because of urgent financial challenges. In April, the cost rose 10p to £1.35. Concerns have been raised about the mortuary at the Grange Hospital in Cwmbran after what the Health Board has called incidents. Assessors found evidence of active ongoing risks 5 months after the wrong bodies were released to 2 bereaved families. The UK's National Accreditation Service has partially suspended its official recognition of mortuary activities there. An Erin Bevan University Health Board said it's put in safeguards and is working with the mortuary staff to deliver continued improvements. And actor and Pointless presenter Alexander Armstrong has drawn inspiration from a Welsh landscape, among others, in his new children's book. Evenfall is set in Cambridge, Northumberland, Liverpool and Snowdonia.
Snowdonia provides this extraordinary backdrop to one of the major events in this story world. Sam, who's the hero of the story, realises he has to go and revisit the scene of this cataclysmic event, and all sorts of truths come to him.
That's the BBC News for Wales at just approaching 9:15.
BBC Radio Wales Travel.
A very good evening to you. My name is Johnny Ratner with your very latest travel news. Better news to bring you in the north of the country. North Wales Police just confirming that the A55 has finally been reopened heading west through the Conwy Tunnel. That lorry that caught fire earlier recovered and has been moved on. However, residual delays remain, and particularly as you come off the A55 on the Conwy Road heading through the centre of Llandudno Junction, and from the west from Deganwy on the A456 are really slow around Llandudno Junction as you were diverting earlier on. And I would say routes around Conwy, particularly for Rosehill Street, still queuing. Now from one end of the country to the other in Carmarthenshire, a few miles north of Llandalo, the main road that runs between Krieger Bar and Edwindsford, that's still closed off. Investigation works underway following an accident, and buses remain in place for Transport for Wales trains between Ystrad, Rhondda and Treherbert, all down to those problems with the signals. M4, lovely and clear though on the Traffic Wales cameras. And for now, that's the very latest from BBC Radio Wales Travel.
BBC Radio Wales weather.
Well, rain should ease off as the night goes on, but there is still a yellow warning for rain, which is in force until 2 a.m, possibly a little bit of thunder around 2. Temperatures overnight between 12 and 15 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow, some sunshine in the far north and west, elsewhere cloudy with rain in the south. Temperatures 19 to 22 degrees Celsius for everybody. And that's the latest forecast.
Your team for Welsh Sport. BBC Radio Wales Sport.
Thank you very much, Sean. Welcome back to Radio Wales Sport. We are live from the Cardiff City Stadium this Friday evening for the start of the Craig Bellamy era as Wales' new head coach. And no goals between Wales and Turkey so far, but plenty of first-half promise.
Referee checks everything, and a new page is turned for Wales. One of their finest players couldn't resist the opportunity to lead his country. It's a nation looking for new memories after a lull following an unforgettable few years. Will Wales get a Craig Bellamy bounce into a new era? We're about to find out. Johnson will pick it up on this side of the penalty area. Lovely back heel into Conor Roberts. Roberts throws it across. Ramsey just heads over from 6 yards. There's his third corner. Wilson takes it short to Roberts on this right-hand side. Roberts on the edge of the box. Plays it back inside. Sorba Thomas, first-time ball in. Then it's stabbed over the top by Joe Roden. Great ball by Ramsey over the top for Sorba Thomas. He's through on his return. He's lobbed the goalkeeper. And the flag goes up. The celebrations are cut short. Sorba Thomas looks furious. And that is the half-time whistle. Well, no goals, but plenty of encouragement for Wales. It's been a new style and really a new impetus to this team.
This is BBC Radio Wales Sport with Ian Hunt.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been fun to watch so far, and the second half on the way here at the Cardiff City Stadium. Wales 0, Turkey 0. Elsewhere in the group, Iceland leading Montenegro by 1-0. Wales head to Montenegro tomorrow for Monday night's second Nations League game. Also live here on Radio Wales Sport from 7 on Monday night. Before the second half then, let's run you through some other sports news of the day. And we're going to start with good news for Wales from the Paralympics. Here's our reporter, Laurie Roberts in Paris.
There were more medals for Welsh athletes competing for Great Britain here at the Paralympic Games in Paris today. The latest, a bronze medal for the javelin thrower Holly Arnold at the Stade de France.
Put into words, to be honest, I feel quite numb in one ways, but it was amazing to go out there and compete in my 5th Paralympics. I do forget sometimes that it is my 5th. It's not the medal I wanted, of course. I wanted to come out there and, get that title back that I won 8 years ago. But you know what? That's sport, that's life. I will be back in LA. Trust me, I'll be ready.
Earlier, Breccon's Rob Davis secured a silver medal, having lost in the final to Cuba's Junior Fernandez. Laura Sugar made sure of her spot in the women's KL3 kayak final on Sunday. In the heat this morning, she beat her own record by over a second, setting a new Paralympic Games best of 48.14 seconds. At the equestrian in Versailles, there were no medals for Georgia Wilson from Abergele and the Great Britain team. They finished in 6th place in the team event. And Gemma Collis is out of the women's épée and wheelchair fencing, having lost in the repechage.
Laurie Roberts there with the latest from the Paralympics. Let's take you to Edinburgh then, and the latest from the WXV warm-up game in the rugby. Scotland facing Wales, and Carol James is there. 45 minutes gone, Carol. Wales, they are behind, aren't they? But not by much. More importantly, I suppose, how are they playing?
Yeah, well, Scotland just had the perfect start to the second half with McGee, the blindside winger, scoring an individual fantastic try. Loads of skill and pace there to finish off the try. And it was actually, Wales on the attack deep in the Scotland 22. So quite unfortunate there. Huge turnover by Scotland, and the Welsh back three not in position. So Scotland are leading at the moment 12-7.
Thank you, Carol. We'll keep an eye on that, and you can watch it as well if you want on the BBC Sport website and app, where you can also read more about the news today that the former Wales wing Mark Jones is going to take over as Ospreys head coach at the end of the forthcoming season when Toby Booth steps down. They're saying that the Wales and Lions back row Justin Tipperick, his playing career will also end. He's going to be a defence coach succeeding Jones in that role. Ospreys and Scarlets both in pre-season friendly action tomorrow. The other two Welsh regions playing this evening. We've got two East Wales v West of England clashes. Cardiff 24-18 in front against Bath, and the Dragons 33-12 down at Bristol. And in the tennis, the US Open, the British men's number one Jack Draper starting his semi-final against the world number one Yannick Sinner in New York. Draper trailing 4-3 in the first set. And in the cricket, stand-in England captain Ollie Pope answering his critics with a century on a rain-affected first day of the third test against Sri Lanka, with the hosts closing on 221 for 3. That's the other news. We're concentrating on the football here at Cardiff City Stadium, where the teams are coming back out for the second half. It is Wales 0, Turkey 0. Quick word from Helen Ward and Nathan Blake on what we've seen from Craig Bellamy so far. Always interesting to look at the clothing, isn't it, Helen? And Craig Bellamy on the sidelines hasn't stopped moving during that first half. Looks like he's getting ready for a night out in Cardiff City Centre with his box fresh white trainers, tight black jeans and bomber jacket. But that aside, what have you made of his antics and his behaviour so far?
I think he's been quite reserved. I mean, I think looking at Montella in the opposite dugout, where he's been up and down like a lunatic at times, I think Craig Bellamy's been quite reserved. A couple of reactions in the moments where we've come close, but he's been okay. But you're right, those white trainers are risky business on a rainy night.
They're going to get muddy by the end of the evening. It's been a rainy night here in Cardiff, but they're ready to go for the second half then here. Can we get a goal to mark the new Craig Bellamy era and the start of this new Nations League campaign? Let's hand you back to our commentary team on BBC Radio Wales and BBC Sounds. Helen Ward, Nathan Blake and Rob Phillips.
Yes, 45 minutes after an encouraging first half, but it is still 0-0. No changes in the sides, but surely Vincenzo Montella will have worked on something during the break to just try and wrestle away the initiative from Wales. Here's Golair on the ball, 18-year-old from Real Madrid. Across this near side is Khan Ayhan. Who's one of those players booked. They're looking for Golair, but Wales have won it back. Chip forward, Ramsey chests it down, just behind Wilson though. And I'll give you the Wales side. It's Ward in goal, across the back Roberts, Roden, Davis and Nico Williams. Ampadu is the holding midfield player. James is pushing forward at every opportunity. Sorba Thomas is on this left-hand side. Actually, he's in the middle now. He's just been presented the ball after a really lively first half. Sorba Thomas shoots right, but in low! And not too far away from 25 yards. He is in the mood, Helen Ward.
He is, and he did well there. He was on his own where he picked that ball up from a loose pass across the pitch. He's looking up for some help. Can't see it, manages to get it back on his right foot, and it's a decent effort when you've got a wet pitch like that. It's worth a go, but just sort of dragged it wide. There may have been an option on the right-hand side. I think Harry Wilson was moving forward, but, it's worth a go from there.
Yeah, it's really good because it's come from Wales pressing again. In that moment, there's only 3 players, but they're able to win the ball back.
This is better from Turkey. They put 4 passes together, which is something. Yildiz, though, blocked by Brennan Johnson, the one I didn't mention. Wilson goes to ground in the middle, but I don't think he's going to get a free kick for that. Yuxet with a fair tackle. This is Yilmaz booed after his action, which led to a yellow. A switch play out to Zeki Celik, the right back. Loves to get forward, the Roma player. Ball into Goulet in the inside right position. Sends Nico Williams one way and earns Turkey their first corner. And it has come 2.5 minutes into the second half, which tells you everything. Italy now leading France 2-1 in Group A. Iceland 1 up on Montenegro in the other game in Wales is Group B. Corner to Turkey, right hand side. Kukçu will take it right footed from the right hand side, and Ward just kneels down and collects with under no pressure whatsoever, and it remains 0-0.
That was a weird one. There was absolutely no one near him, and he's not even called it high.
I was thinking that.
Really strange
I was
one.
thinking, if for strikers, you'd love that, wouldn't you?
Bread and
Keeper taking the
butter.
ball there, you just run across him and nod it in.
What will Craig Bellamy have said to his team at half-time, Nathan?
Probably just keep doing what you're doing, and just try and improve your finishing if you get the opportunity. You know, try and take them. Should be probably 1 or 2 goals to the good in this game, but you know, keep doing what you're doing. It's for Turkey to change, to be honest with you, Rob. They've got to find, you know...
They'll find another gear, really, haven't they?
Well, they need to find some sort of, you know, answer to the question that's being asked of them. And largely, they've not been able to do it. So, you know, when you're on top in the game so much, you don't really have to change anything. You just got to get that goal.
Well, Turkey are winless in their last 5 away games.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Yilmaz is down again, but he just had the ball nicked off him. Wilson turns, he's been really lively. Slides in Johnson, almost slid in Johnson. I spoke too soon. It's just cut out. And then Ben Davies forces the ball. Well, he blocks a clearance.
Well, it was 60-40 in the Turkish player's favour. But he, you know, he's so determined to win the ball and make sure they don't press or counter press. He just went all the way, knowing that he's going to get a ricochet. Worst case scenario.
Ben Davies, who tonight goes above Ashley Williams in the all-time Wales cap holders. He is now 5th ahead of the man who led Wales to the Euros, and who's part of the Feast of Football podcast, which you may have seen. If you haven't, it's on iPlayer when they're inside the camp, speaking to Craig Bellamy and Aaron Ramsey, and Joe Ledley was there as well. Right little reunion. Turkey looking to impose a bit more of themselves. Strong run down that left-hand side by Muldur. Leaves it to Yildiz. They're in the penalty area now. Kukçu crosses. Yilmaz header over the top from 8 yards. Not dissimilar to Aaron Ramsey's header, but it was had to put a bit more power on it himself.
Yeah, I think if you leave it to Celik, I think Celik is in a better position than he is. He's stretching, reaching. Yeah.
Celik was on his own, wasn't he, behind him?
Yeah, and he could have just stepped onto it, and I really planted that. So.
Tell you what, also Brennan.
Oh, they take the goal. Kick short. They've given it away in their own penalty area, and Orkun Kukçu's shot is blocked. Shot for offside, and Wales got away with one then.
Just before that, I was going to say Brennan Johnson was lucky. He slid in with a challenge on the far side in the build-up. Luckily, he didn't catch him because he is on a yellow, which could have been quite dangerous, but probably not quite as dangerous as this goal kick from Wales.
Yeah, that's unsettled Danny Ward. Yeah. If you're Wales now, and this is the point we made it earlier, Rob, about you were saying about, you know, not playing. It's only the problem. It's the only problem position for Wales. We need a goalkeeper that plays more often than not. You know. And then when not only that, you're asking Danny to come in and play with his feet. You know, it's a huge ask for me.
His last Leicester appearance was against Chelsea in March 2023. He started with this one. He started 12 of the last 13 for Wales. And if you look at it, he's hardly played in the last 3 or 4 years. Adam Davis has played a few games this season, but only 32 appearances in the last 4 seasons. And Carl Darlow,
it's the same,
caught up 26 appearances in the last 4 seasons.
It's a real problem position for Wales.
And there's nothing Craig Bellamy can do about it.
No, absolutely nothing. You have to go with what you've got. So all the young Welsh keepers out there, work hard. Get yourselves in that first team.
I think there's Owen Evans at Cheltenham, isn't there, who plays regularly. Anyway, Ramsey caught late by Soyun Chu.
The referee's been excellent tonight. I don't think he's missed the trick.
He's a bit... the repetition what he had was he was a bit card happy, but he reffed England-Bosnia in June, and he's shown 2 red cards in 15 games so far this season in Norway, because obviously they play through the summer.
Yeah, I think he's been brilliant.
Yeah.
When players have gone down trying to buy a foul, he's not been sucked in at all. We've seen everything.
It's 0-0. As Gunyop comes out of his area to head the ball down and it's cleared away, picked up by Danny Ward. Wales playing from right to left, all in red, Turkey all in white, with the crescent on their chests. Davis back to Ward. I mean, they're obviously under orders to play out. This is the way Craig Bellamy wants it. Ampadu goes short, flicks the ball out to his Leeds teammate Joe Roden.
Yeah, Turkey need another man in that press so they can really put the pressure on Danny Ward.
Johnson was taken out then by Muldur, who went clattering into his into the Welshman. Muldur has the distinction of scoring the first and last goal for Turkey in the Euros. He got their first goal against Georgia, and he scored an own goal against the Dutch.
Only you would bring that up. Right?
Well, no, I must have read it somewhere.
I was thinking, oh, congrats, that's a nice thing to have.
There's always a bar
yeah,
somewhere,
there's always. You just can't help yourself.
No. Now Wilson is quick enough to catch that, and he's onside, gets the ball back, and it's turned wide from an awkward angle by Johnson, who was a few yards outside the near post with very little room to play with.
Yeah, it's just too far behind him, Rob. Great move, though.
It's interesting, someone has said to me at half-time, Helen, is this really us?
Yeah, I think that position there, he might have been given offside. Sorry, Helen.
No, it's all right. I think Harry Wilson actually came from onside.
Yeah, it was Brennan Johnson. I mean, he was in an offside position when the ball was played and then finished it. So
yeah,
I think he might have been given offside. Do you think?
I don't know. Second phase. I think
be.
If he goes for the first ball, then yes. But anyway, it was a nice little ball around the corner. It's been a little bit of a feature of the ball turned round from, I think it was Aaron Ramsey on that occasion, similar to the ball he played, or the type of ball he played to Sorba Thomas in the first half. Although a little bit of a longer distance, it's certainly a feature to drag people out, and then that deeper run.
Amadou claims the ball in midfield, and it's shot on the turn is wide from Harry Wilson. There was no room to move. He just swiveled on a sixpence and swept it left-footed, just a yard or so, maybe less than that, past Gurok's post. Oh, much less than that.
It's just across the face. Again, it comes from Wales's press. Turkey just caught out again, give possession straight up to Ethan Ampadu, feeds it into Wilson. Lovely touch and turn, and just whips. He's in the middle of the goal, but about 25 yards out, and just whips it across the face, left-footed, goes for that far post, and just shades wide.
Sorba Thomas collects the ball down the left-hand side. Celik gets goal side, but he's prepared to attack him. Thomas low ball into the box, and it's hammered out for a throw-in, which Jordan James takes quickly. That's been a feature, not just the pace of the Wales side, but the pace of the game they want to play. Connor Roberts heads it down. Wilson heads it wide. He's going to pick it up though, feeds Connor Roberts on that right hand side, breaks through one challenge to the edge of the area, gets to the byline, chips it across. Sorba Thomas waits, heads it back into the mixer. Bit of head tennis being played, and Celik will just touch it off for a Wales throw.
Yeah, brilliant pressure from Wales again. Do you know what I loved about Sorba Thomas tonight? He's not just stayed on the touchline and come across that run from out to in, but every time he's got one-on-one, he's taking on the man down the line, taking on the defender on the outside.
Gives the ball away. This is Joulet, tries to play in Yilmaz. It's cut out by the ever-attentive Ampadu. And then Conor Roberts' attempted clearance is blocked. And that was the old Alan Tate, as they say at Swansea. He just felt the touch on his back.
Yeah, Connor's good at that.
Fell over.
He's brilliant at that as well.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, he had a good teacher, didn't he, Alan Tate?
Yeah, Tate, he was good. Yeah.
That's what they say. They did an Alan Tate in Swansea. Don't forget, call Rob tonight from 9:45. 03 700 100 110. You can call or WhatsApp. You can text Jess Llewellyn, who's just got us the coffees at half-time. Fair play to
you want to rephrase that.
You got me a coffee. Text her on 81012 to thank her, and you can post on at BBC Radio Wales. Your chance to have your say. The first chance on Craig Bellamy's new era. You'd have to say, Nathan Blake, probably all they lack at the moment is a goal.
I think it's been an excellent performance, I have to say. Credit where credit is due. It's been brilliant.
Iceland are now 2-up against Montenegro. Remember, Wales go to Montenegro on Monday. Coverage here on BBC Radio Wales Sport from 7. Ward takes a touch. Makes Nico Williams go back a few strides. Under pressure on Celik, who he concedes possession to. Lovely little turn inside by Yuksek. Yuksek tries to thread it across the box. And it's out for, well, the linesman says a corner. The referee says a goal kick.
That was a corner all day, surely.
Well,
bounced off about 3 Wales players, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely, at least 2. The 2 last touches.
I didn't
maybe
see
not.
it.
Maybe it's got to be a 3 these days.
I thought it was Wales' ball.
Old habits die hard.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah. Nil-nil. Sorba Thomas attacks Celik. He's really brought down by Celik.
He's been excellent.
He has not been booked. Oh, and then there's, I think Soyuncu added a bit of himself, and I think he's been booked now.
I think they're kicking off because of the corner. That never was.
Yeah.
But this time, look, he's taking him outside almost every time. This time, he says, right, I'm going to run you inside.
Well, Sorba Thomas, not picked for over a year. His last Wales appearance was against Croatia in 2023. This is only his 3rd start for Wales. Played in the World Cup. But he has made some comeback tonight, you have to say.
Yeah, there's been brilliant performances all round, but you'd put him up there with MOM at the moment.
Yeah, his mother Gail in Newport will love this. As the free kick is taken by Wilson, curled into the box. Again, Ramsey heads it over the top. Carol James is watching the WXV warm-up. Scotland against Wales. What's happening, Carol?
Well, Scotland are running away with the score now. They've definitely upped the tempo in this second half. They've got their bonus point try. They've got 4 tries on the board. McGee scored the first in the second half. Then Chloe Rolly, the formidable fullback, beautiful feet and so balanced when she runs. And then just now Meryl Smith as well, the centre, has just crossed over the try line as well. Lovely feet, cutting back to score her try.
Is off here. Sorry, Carol. Yilmaz is going to get a second yellow for a stamp on Nico Williams.
Yeah, Williams is up. The dark arts, as Helen Ward would call it.
They're great when it's for you.
Yeah.
Barish Alpa Yilmaz is reluctant to go, but he's got to go. It was, I thought he caught the top of, at the very least, caught the top of Nico Williams's foot. And Yilmaz is shown a red card, and that, of course, the second yellow, because in the first half he complained bitterly about a penalty decision that didn't go his way. Booked on 31 minutes, second booking a half an hour later, and Turkey are down to 10 men.
He does catch him on the top of his foot. I don't think it's a stamp or a jump in
You would
necessarily.
give a yellow card for it, right?
But yeah, he can't really argue, to be honest.
because he's on a yellow
straight
card.
red. It wasn't a straight
No.
red. It was a yellow first.
He stepped on his toe more than anything else.
Yeah, which hurts. But we won't go there again. What hurts most? Does hurt though.
You start playing about that over England, you have to leave the estate, my friend.
Okay. England is a part of Newport for those north of Kilvennick, just
Where
outside
Sorba
Coventry.
Thomas's mum is from.
Yeah.
I'll have you know.
And Nathan Blake, of course.
Yeah,
So,
bit of Ely first, and then Ely England.
now, desperate time, desperate measures. The word from the Turkish media yesterday was that Hakan Şahinoglu, the Turkish captain and midfield playmaker, and arguably their best player, wouldn't be used today. He's being kept for Montenegro for Iceland on Tuesday. But it seems, and it is, the Inter Milan 90 times cap player
By the way.
is about to earn his 91st cap.
He is an absolute player. Baller, as they say these days. It'll be interesting now whether Turkey can take control of this game with 10 men. That's what's going to interest me now.
So Kokcu has made way, really outgunned in that midfield, the Benfica midfield player. Record signing and record fee for Feyenoord from Benfica. And Hakan Şahinoglu, born in Germany, the second Turkish player to play in 3 European Championship finals, and reckoned to be one of the best midfield players in Serie A. But he has had an injury problem, so we shall see how fit he is. He's got 21 minutes plus. Can Wales break through against 10 men now? Jordan James tried to turn the ball back across. Oh, they're playing with it on the edge of their box, but they get out of that well, do Turkey. Now it's cleared up field looking for Goulet, but Ben Davis is attentive. Wilson back to Robertson halfway, and you'd feel the way Wales play now is ideal against 10 men.
Yeah, and Turkey just slipped into a 5 and a 3. One up front when they're defending and attacking, they go into like...
Low cross in by Nico Williams, cleared away. Conor Roberts bent into that. Shot comes in from the edge of the box. Wilson was at it again, but this time he drilled it wide, a low drive wide.
Yeah.
And it's 0-0.
As I was saying, they're going to a 5-3-1 and then a 4-4-1 Turkey while in possession. So it'll be interesting to see how this game folds out. Only 66 minutes gone. See what kind of impact
Harry Wilson
can have.
Harry Wilson made his Wales debut in 2013 against Belgium, when Craig Bellamy played his last game for Wales, his 78th cap. And wouldn't you know, Aaron Ramsey scored that day, 1-1 away in Belgium. In October 2013, that's when Craig Bellamy bowed out of international action. But he's back with a vengeance as manager and looking for a win in his first game. It's goalless at the moment. Johnson attacks down that right-hand side, heads towards the byline. Poor cross.
Cut back there from Johnson. He'd done everything right. Got to the byline. As he pulls his foot back to cross, if he just chops there, I guarantee you the defender is going to go sliding across out the touch. Just try to get him from a really impossible angle there and put pace on it as well.
Bit of a coaching conference going on the side. Bellamy's backroom team has changed as well. It's Andrew Crofts, former Wales international, 29 caps. also the Brighton assistant coach, James Robury, head of elite coaching education at the FAW, former Cardiff coach and Newport County manager. Piet Creamers, who I think was the one talking to Bellamy there, he worked at Burnley and Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. And Ryland Morgans, who's been around a while, as Johnson breaks through again right hand side. And another poor cross, although Bellamy applauds it. It's actually gone out for a throw-in on the left-hand side.
Yeah, he's doing everything right, as Blakey said, and he's getting away, he's finding the space. He just needs to have that little bit of composure, just to slide it across the floor. It's soaking wet out there, drill it on the floor. Defender or an attacker gets a touch on it, it's causing problems.
Absolutely, here's Big Kiefer now.
Yeah, it looks like it is Kiefer Moore who is getting stripped, ready to come on.
They've made Turkey look, sorry Rob, they've made Turkey look really ordinary tonight.
Yeah, they have. You're
Wales.
Right. As the rain starts to come down, Thomas cross into the box, and that was curled in from the left and straight on the hands.
That's a great ball. Right, striker the striker. I'm looking at Aaron Ramsey and he's clapping, but he knows he should have made a little dart and run of about 3 or 4 yards. Just even if he starts to go there, what he realizes that, yeah, this ball is coming. Just he way ahead of the keeper. Keeper's got no chance on that.
Turkey have a bit of possession. It's in their own half, but they've moved it out to the left-hand side. Yildiz is there. Now they come over to the right-hand side. Golair at 18 is ordering players around. He's that good. But we've not seen too much of him tonight, and Wales will be glad of that. Craig Bellamy will be glad of that. Show what he could do with a brilliant goal against Wales in Samsung last summer. Soyuncu, square to Karnayhan, little 1-2 between Celik and Şerenoglu. Golair is down, but Turkey have got a man spare on that left-hand side. Şerenoglu's heading into the penalty area. There's a run on the inside as well by Ismail Yüksek, but Muldur couldn't find him. Wales can break now. Long way to go, but they've got the pace, they've shown that.
Give it him.
Now Williams feeds Thomas to lead the break down the left-hand side. He cuts inside Celik. Golair is there as well, nicks it off Sorba Thomas. Picks to go one way, then runs into Nico Williams. So Thomas picks it up again, tried to thread it through the Ivan Needle to Wilson, who's coming back on an offside situation. It remains 0-0, and we've got 20 minutes to go with a couple of substitutions in the offing. One is Kiefer Moore, the other is Lewis Kumas.
Yeah, it's a good time for me to make those substitutions. Wales have just lost that sort of level of energy, as you would expect. Helen made the point early on in the first half. The substitutions were going to be really important. And with the game being 0-0 still, just want to keep the energy levels up, especially against 10 men. Wales have seemed to dip since they've gone down to 10 men.
Yildiz nips it past Connor Roberts, who's rushing to get back goal side, stabs a foot in, concedes a throw. Who's coming off then? Helen Ward?
I'm not sure, you know. Brennan Johnson's been a little bit sloppy of the last sort of 5-6 minutes, but then neither of these are naturally going to go and replace him out wide, so
they're going to go with a natural striker, aren't they?
Yeah.
Aaron Ramsey is the first, the captain, so he immediately rushes off to give the armband to Ben Davis. So Kiefer Moore comes on for his 44th cap, and Sorba Thomas's return, which has been a roaring success, you would say. So there's a new generation coming through, and this is Lewis Kumas, son of Jason. Made his debut in the friendly against Gibraltar. Scored a stunning goal for the Wales under-21s last spring. Had Rodney Parade on his debut. and is already in good form for Stoke City with 2 goals already on his loan from Liverpool.
Good player, great movement. Love it that he's fearless, doesn't matter who he's up against. He just plays the game, very brave, and a very good finisher, what I've seen so far from the lad.
I'm surprised that we saw Thomas coming off, I must admit. And he looked disappointed as well.
Yeah,
but Craig Bellamy did have a quick word in his ear. Maybe it's a thought for the next game in mind, I don't know. But if I was going to choose one of the wide players, I probably would have taken Brennan Johnson off before Sorba Thomas, but I'm not the gaffer.
Elsewhere in League A, it's Belgium 3, Israel 1. France are trailing 3-1 at home to Italy. In League B, Iceland leading Montenegro 2-0. Slovenia and Austria 1-1. Kazakhstan drew 0-0 with Norway. Of course, here it's goalless. In League C, Kosovo are trailing 2-0 to Romania. This is Kumas, first touch of him, cuts inside and then ran into traffic as he tried to go inside the penalty area. And every Wales player bar Ward in the Turkish half as Wales attack the Canton end, the vocal end, the red wall end. They're trying to well, Amadou goes down on the edge of the box, but no foul. He stayed down. The referee, I have to say, was right there, Rohit Saji from Norway. Had a good view of that. At the moment, the problems are all with Vincenzo Montella.
I would have loved to see Kumas go down the middle. Bring a natural winger on.
Here we go again. And this time, Johnson drives it across.
Yeah, good luck getting on the end of them.
Of the goal.
I'd be saying to him, like, bro, I'm a striker, I'm not Superman. I'm not going to get on the end of those. You're like pinging them across. No, he's putting full whip on that and he's inside the box. I can understand if you're out on a touchline or between 8-yard box and touchline, but he's inside the box by about 3 yards and he's whipping it with everything he's got. He's actually taking off when he's whipping it. So, you know, even if you're a striker with the quickest movement, good luck if that's ahead of you. You're never going to get on the end of it. Just be a bit more cultured with that. Feed it in.
Am I right to feel he owes Wales a goal or two? He's in his 28th international now, and he's got 3 goals.
I don't know, are you right?
I don't know, you tell me, you're the experts, you and Helen Ward.
Well, that's not what you say to me when we're driving in the car. You're the expert.
Well, yeah, there is that. Shelik runs out of the room. But no, Helen, I'll ask you, you'll give me a sensible answer.
Yes.
I'll just ignore the man to my right.
Yes, I do. I think he does need to contribute more goals.
Thank you. Nathan Blake, do you agree?
I agree with Helen, yeah.
I think he's got bundles of potential, but he still looks raw. And 28 games in, he shouldn't.
Johnson seizes on a loose ball, but that time it takes a deflection all across the face of the goal. Nobody was there. And
someone down over on the far side.
I think that may be Harry. Is that Harry Wilson?
Kiefer Moore, I think.
Kiefer Moore, yeah. Who's only just come on.
Not often you see him stay down as well.
No, I think he got rolled on. A couple of Turkey substitutes in the offing as well. Okay, Kushlu, former West Bromwich Albion player, now at Trabzonspor. And Kerim Aktürkoğlu. So Yildiz is off.
Just looking at the injury to Big Kiefer as he plays the ball. So Yunchu just falls on him. I think kicks him in the face accidentally.
Also leaving the field is number 16, Ismail Uchak.
Looks like an accidental kick to the face. And it is Uke Kushlu who is coming on. I can tell you about the sub Aktürkoğlu. He was rescued from, serious now, He was rescued from an earthquake in 1990. He was only 10 months old by his granddad, and he's gone on to make. Well, he's got a 60 million release clause from Benfica.
That's superb, isn't it? That's a great story. That's a documentary, Rob.
Occasionally I come up with these.
Yeah, because you laughed first, and I thought you were going to say something silly.
No.
Because you're often these stats, you have these ridiculous.
Listen, it's such a good game. I haven't had to tell you that Santa Claus came from Turkey, have I?
Well, we knew that.
I feel like you've told us that 10 months ago.
Yeah,
okay.
he did. He's not that fresh, is he?
Did I tell you that the Turks introduced tulips to Amsterdam?
Yes.
I don't think I did.
You did.
I'll have a listen back.
Well, I knew it, so you must have.
All right, okay. Yeah, they did, Helen.
Did they?
Yeah.
That is fascinating.
Okay.
A particular colour of tulip, or?
No, but it was just that they were taken back there to Holland by the Dutch ambassador from Turkey.
Incredible story.
Yeah.
That could be a documentary.
Let me tell you about Call Rob. Any more Turkish trivia?
Don't they say the Ark is in Turkey?
Sorry?
The Ark?
No, you've got me.
Oh, okay. I didn't think you knew that.
There's one for next time.
It's not on those notes, my friend.
No, it's not. So it can't be right. Let me tell you about Call Rob tonight. 03700 100 110. You're missing nothing because Kiefer Moore is having treatment for what we think is a blood wound on his face. 03700 100 110. You can call or WhatsApp or even leave a voice note. You can text Jess Llewellyn on 81012. And you can post on that BBC Radio Wales. 2 Wales greats in the crowd. Ian Rush, whose nephew Owen Beck is among the substitutes.
And Ewan Roberts.
And Kevin Ratcliffe. Sometime in the seat occupied by Helen Ward and Nathan Blake. And as usual, he has to get up at an important moment. Let's find out what's happening in the WXV warm-up. Scotland against Wales. Carol James.
Well, Wales have just scored a late try here, but Scotland are absolutely flying. 40 points to 12 at the moment. 6 tries to Scotland, 2 to Wales. The Scottish backs absolutely tearing it up. They're looking threatening every time they're on the ball. So lots of work with Wales left to do.
Okay, it's got progressively worse there. The rain is coming down here. Kiefer Moore, this is turning out to be a really long stoppage now. We're up to 80 minutes, but I reckon it's been a good 3 or 4 minutes. Faith Bellamy calls his team over for a few words of wisdom from the side.
I'd say it's been slightly longer because we've had a lot of stories about tulips and Santa Claus in the meantime.
Just as well I brought that trivia with me, wasn't it?
What else have you got?
Oh. I think I've told you that that 75% of all hazelnuts come from Turkey, haven't I?
Oh look, Kiefer Moore's up.
Brilliant news.
Thank God for that.
And Turkish people love tea.
He's only just got rid of that bandage on his head, hasn't he? Bless him.
He's got another one now. But when you're a Ford like you two were,
I never stuck my head in like that.
Sorry?
I never had a bandage on my head.
Didn't you ever?
No.
Well, were you brave enough to go in for challenges?
Timed my movement so I didn't have to.
Like it is. Only the fools stick there
Former
today.
Wales record goal scorer Helen Ward.
Only the fools stick there today, like Jace
Taking
Perry.
you 80 minutes to bring that up, Rob.
Well,
Cruelly
the game started, Rob.
Yeah, I know. He's coming back on, Kiefer Moore. He's back on. Cruelly snatched off her by Jess Fishlock. No, he's not back on yet.
If you're going to lose it, you don't mind losing it to Jess, right?
No, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I still think I had 45 goals, but that's a story for another time.
Oh, right. Oh, we'll take that up with the Wales historians.
I should be on call, Rob.
03700 100 110. Ring on your way home, Helen. We can discuss that.
I'm not on then, no.
I was meaning that. Yeah, I was meaning maybe we can discuss it with Helen on call.
Leave a voice note. That'd be good. Right, we're underway.
You'll blue tick me.
Kiefer Moore is back on. There you go. The big man steps up, takes up his position. He's got a fetching red headband. As Lewis Kumas heads towards the byline, runs it out for a goal kick. And the entire Canton end disagree with the referee.
That's one each now, really, isn't it, to be fair?
Yeah, that one. That ricochet of two Welsh players that went for a goal kick.
Cool, we're just seeing a replay of that accidental challenge. That's a sore one for.
That's something where you can lose your eye and things like that. That is a sore one.
So the 10 men have got another 7 or 8 minutes to hold out. Maybe a few minutes more with injury time as well. I thought Shahanolu was offside then, coming back from offside position, but he's allowed to go on. First on that left-hand side again by Muldour, who loves to get forward. The Fenerbahce full-back, he's lost possession, tries to win it back on the edge of the box. Ampadu is brought down by the substitute Aktaroglu.
Great checking back from Brennan Johnson, that, Rob. Really good work. Got his team out of a little bit of a pickle there.
Davis now wearing the captain's armband. To James, not seen so much of him in the second half. Roden wide to Johnson, giving Mulder all sorts of problems on that right hand side. Williams is central now, has Lewis Kumas wide, socks down by his ankles. Lewis Kumas back to Williams. Williams will float in across, looking for more, heads it down. Wilson just got a back heel on it, but I think Kiefer Moore was offside anyway.
Just what you need when you've been stepped on the face and in a header. I think he's headed it down normally from where he is. I think he goes for goal there.
I also think if he leaves that, Brennan Johnson was onside behind him and was coming onto it.
Goal kick will be taken by Mert Janok. Made his debut in 2012 and waited 7 years for his return. Now he's preferred to the Manchester United keeper Altay Bayindir and Özcan Çakır of Trabzonspor. Good names, aren't they, in Turkey? Do you think? Good names of clubs. Trabzonspor. 0-0. 5 minutes to go. Stop giggling. I'm only making a point. It's a free kick to Turkey, 20 yards inside the Wales half, 10 yards in from the left-hand touchline. The Ninian stand, 1 or 2 empty seats there as they float it into the box. Soyuncu leaves it. Roden doesn't. Moore chases out. Gillette sets it up on this right-hand side. Oh, lovely bit of play on this near side. Played back into the box, and it's hammered out for a corner. That was Okay Yokushlu.
Yeah, Nico Williams very fortunate there. He's tried to go in with so much ferocity and absolutely no need.
Turkey corner, right-hand side, left-footed, headed out by Davis or Roden, one of them. They both jump. I think it was Roden. Up for another corner on the right-hand side. Şenollu gets a huge cheer from the Turkey fans in that corner. Some of them above the Together Stronger banner. The big red digital lights saying 85-58. Conor Roberts is being spoken to by the referee. Always got a word, Conor Roberts. And Şenollu is going to take this corner from the left-hand side. Curls it in, and good save by Ward. And the charge is on now as Nico Williams. It was Abdulkarim Bardakçı who had the header from no more than 10 yards, and Ward was in the right place. First time he's really been called into serious action, you'd say. Now Kumas, left-hand side, 2 up against him, steps inside both of them. Lays it off for Nico Williams. Williams plays it across the face of the box to Roberts. Plenty of men forward for Wales. Everybody in the last third, including Ben Davies. Ollie Cooper waits to come on, the Swansea City player. Williams again, 15 yards from the penalty area, goes deeper to Davies. Patient play by Wales, looking for an opening against the 10 men. Johnson wide on the right-hand side. His low cross is punted away before it gets to the near post. 0-0 on BBC Radio Wales Sport. Ollie Cooper entering the fray. And it's Jordan James who makes way. 28,625 are here. Thoughts on that, Nathan Blake?
Pardon?
Thoughts on the substitution?
Yeah, it's like we say, he's a player with energy, Rob. So, you know, Craig's motto clearly is keep energy up. He's another player from the Swansea City Cameron Toshak Academy, isn't he? Young
yes,
Coops.
Indeed. Emirhan Tokcu is about to make his debut.
I thought Jordan James is brilliant tonight. Being asked to play in a totally different sort of role to what he's used to for Wales. So clearly a very intelligent player. I say when players can switch positions or play out a position that is not their natural position. I love that.
12th cap today, and he's already established himself as a first choice in this team. He's only 20, Jordan James, playing his football in Rennes.
Double substitution for the visitors, leaving the field as number 2, Zeki Celik.
Zeki Celik makes way.
It's only going to be about 10 or 12 minutes extra time.
I think it's going to be a lot, you're
right.
right.
A lot.
And misplaced number 13, Emirhan Tokcu. Also leaving the field for the visitors is number 8, Arder Joulet.
Arder Joulet, the Real Madrid player is off. And Irfan Kahveji is coming on. And the other one is Emirhan Tokcu. Celik has had his work cut out today, hasn't he? Dealing with first Sober Thomas.
Yeah, a bit disappointed with Gula as well tonight, I have to say. He's shown a lot tonight.
Don't think he's been allowed to.
No. But you know, top players, they make it happen.
Right.
They get into the game, no matter what you try and do to them.
Well, we're coming up to 90 minutes on the clock, and we'll soon know how long the referee is adding on for the Kiefer Moore injury, because there hasn't been another serious injury. It's 8 minutes. 8 minutes for Wales to make the breakthrough, which would cap a really good performance. Wilson, right-hand side. Come on, Cymru. Riddian Bowen Phillips shouts on the microphone. Davis to Williams. First touch for Ollie Cooper, left-hand side, heads towards the penalty area. Holds it up, back to Nico Williams, who's seen plenty of the ball. Wide to Lewis Koumas. Koumas tries to swivel away from his man, concedes a throw. Turkey think it's their throw. I don't see how Muldoon, who switched over, can think that was a Wales, a Turkey throw, when he clearly put his foot through it. Call Rob to follow at around about 9:45, with Nathan Blake taking your call out. 9:50 now, I'm told. 03 700 100 110. Davis looks at the runner, Koumas. Koumas collects in his stride, cuts it inside, and Soyuncu has to hammer the ball out for a throw-in. Romania have won 3-0 in Kosovo in Group C. 0-0 here. Roberts, centre field, up to Moore with that red bandage. Back to Wilson. Wilson floats it across, looking for Koumas, headed away by Muldoon. Swapped from that left-hand side over to the right-hand side to fill in for Zeki Celik, who's gone off. Iceland have beaten Montenegro by 2-0. That's where Wales go on Monday. Pumas is offside. We played nearly a minute of the added 8. There's a Turkey player gone down. Vincenzo Montella tells his physio not to rush. Helen Ward, even if this does finish 0-0, what are you thinking about? What should fans be thinking, do you reckon? Or what will they think?
I think they'll be excited for the campaign ahead. You know, this is arguably one of the toughest tests we're going to face. Yes, it's a home game, but Turkey, as we've spoken about so often, have got a really good side, and we've just not let them show that tonight, and that's all credit to Craig Bellamy and the way he set his team out. And what I like about it is he seems to have found, although he doesn't like systems, he's found a way of playing, shall we say, that seems to fit the personnel that he has. And you know, Brennan Johnson and Sorba Thomas occupying wide areas where they can be dangerous. Aaron Ramsey not burdened with that defensive responsibility and being able to drift in and out of pockets higher up the pitch, and getting the likes of Harry Wilson around him. And
long ball forward by Williams, looking for Wilson, and arcs around. Did Wilson keep that in? No, he didn't. Did his best.
And then on the Jordan James stuff, being able to see that in a player that, of course, not just for the last 4 days, he'd have done his homework on his entire squad, but seeing that he can play in that more advanced position and impact the game higher up the pitch, I think it's all credit to him and the work he's done prior to coming in as as the coach on this camp.
Well, I'm struck by what you said earlier, Nathan. I was told that the camp has been full of meetings. But he's got a lot of info into these players, hasn't he?
In a short space of time,
yeah,
Rob.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. You know, long may it continue. And I think, I don't want to, jump the gun, but Wales play like this, they will gather success. It's whether or not can you go away from home to Turkey and play like this. And I think if they can, then the future is very bright for Wales. But to do what they've done and to see the changes, because I thought, we might see minor changes here or there. Didn't think there was enough time to see what I've witnessed tonight, but clearly, yeah, it's a real science for Craig.
With Brooks and Dan James set to return in October.
Yeah, even more pace, right?
Yeah.
More
I can
energy.
see this suiting Di Brooks really, really well, the way he plays, and he's an intelligent player with that pace, that ability to get on the ball in tight areas. I think this will really, really suit him.
Here's Williams, hoping to make this good work count tonight. You feel their performance deserves a win, but you've got to put the ball in the net to do it.
It's not a criticism, because Wales have deserved to win this game. You don't always get what you deserve, but even if they come away from a point, I think it's just if they lost the game, it'd be an excellent
Kumas again, ball into the box, chance here on the turn, and it's drilled well wide by Brennan Johnson, who was caught.
He sliced it.
He did slice it, but he was also caught.
I think he's given a corner as well.
Yeah, I think he has. So we've got to monitor for a replay.
Yeah, the defender's always got to make that challenge.
The defenders. Yeah. I think it was a corner, to be fair. Well,
a great turn, and
look at the paper tomorrow, it will be. Corner comes in from Wilson, left-hand side, overhead, breaks on the edge of the box. Roberts punted it forward, blocked on the edge of the penalty area. And then there's an acrobatic back flick
Ampadu
by Ethan Ampadu, who can do virtually everything on a pitch, to be fair to him, but he hasn't yet perfected that. 6 minutes of the added 8 gone.
I think it'd be really positive from fans tonight, really encouraging. Something new, something fresh for them to get hold of, because the first 5 minutes the crowd was really quiet, and you could see they sat there in anticipation of, okay, what are we going to witness? And I think most fans, if not all, will be really satisfied with what they've seen.
Yeah, they didn't know what to expect, you're right. No. Turkey have possession with Muldur in field to Swaps passes with Kavici. Back pass to the goalkeeper, has to curl it forward. Picked up by Nico Williams, who overstepped it. And the break is on with Kavici down this right-hand side. Nobody to look for in the penalty area. Loads of red shirts back. Goes short of Chanolu. Chanolu turns away from Kiefer Moore, wins the free kick right in front of the referee. That was a bit of a schoolboy error from Kiefer Moore, that. Wasn't much of a touch, but Chanolu is cute enough and experienced enough to know when to go down.
Yeah, that's the right word, Rob. Cute, very cute. He knew Kiefer was the wrong side of him. Kiefer was always going to have a little bite and a tug.
The Inter Milan player, the joint highest scorer in Turkish scorer in Serie A, is going to take this free kick. 15 yards, right side of the Wales penalty area, curls it into the middle. And the free kick is going to go Wales' way anyway. And there won't be much time to take this free kick. Turkey head back into their defensive positions. They played with 10 men for nearly half an hour. And the Craig Bellamy era starts with a vibrant display, but they could not find the net, even against the 10 men of Turkey. Plenty of encouragement for Wales fans. There was a definite new approach and a new vitality about this side, with greater pace and energy. But the only thing missing was the goal, and Bellamy's first game in charge has finished here at the Cardiff City Stadium. Wales 0, Turkey, who finished with 10 men, 0.